In this video, we are going to be analysing AMD. If you want your own stock analysed, throw it in the comments. We'll get around to it when we can. Now, to get straight into it, what we can see is AMD is up about, well, just under 10% on the day, or actually has just hit 10% on the day. We're sitting at around $119. Now, firstly, why is this? Again, this is just going to be down to NVIDIA. AMD is a sympathy play. Again, if you were playing it, it was a lot cheaper to play, and obviously a lot cheaper of a stock to play as well, but moving relatively similar. Now, what are key levels I'd be paying attention to on AMD though going forward? And AMD may be the one I actually choose to trade over NVIDIA for one of the key reasons, which we'll get into here. So what you can see on the left here, we have a 6-month chart. On the right, this is a 1-year chart. Now, what you can see is what each of these lines are. So these yellow ones or golden ones, these are first deviations. Again, that means 68% of the data should trade within that range. Then going on to these blue ones, that is a second deviation. So 95% of data should trade within that range. And then coming on to the third deviation, this is usually the strongest one. 99.7% of data should trade within that range. Again, you can never guarantee something as a 99.7% accuracy in the stock market, but it just usually does act a lot stronger than these lower levels. So I wanted to point that out if you don't understand the standard deviation channels, because on large cap, well, any stock in general, but especially large caps, you never really see them start trading outside of those areas, because again, that is when they are trading at, well, just extremely overbought. There will be profit taking, algos will be taking profits or potentially shorting coming into those levels. So we have dotted down the key levels right away. So you can see we got the second deviation on the 1 year, that's at 111. We then also have our first deviation on the 6 month, that's at 109.50. So those are supports to be paying attention to. Again, we kind of broke straight through these on that earnings release, so it wouldn't be unlikely in time to come back to test this as a support range. So that's what I'm paying attention to on that side. Then on the resistance standpoint, we have a 122.50 level. That is our second deviation on this 6 month. And then also at 124.50, that is our third deviation on that 1 year. So this is really what I'm paying attention to, considering as well we popped up to this level. This is a key range I'm paying attention to, AMD short bias. Now, the only thing that takes me off this stock short bias is obviously on the 6 month we're trending up, on the 1 year we're trending up. So it does mean taking this trade, I will be using reduced size, because you are going against the overall shorter and longer term trend, which again, is never the best thing to do. So if you are trading it, definitely size reductions should be key. But definitely coming into that range, I would expect as a minimum a pullback. My main target would be that 111. Again, always buying calls to hedge that upside. Always want to define risk. You know, if we're getting in short at 124.50, you know, we're going to have 125 to somewhere like 130 calls, just in case it skyrockets up. Again, we're going to be protected. So those are the key ranges I would be paying attention to for now. If you want to go further out, we'll quickly go over that as well. And then we're paying attention to a 135 resistance. Again, this is on the 6 month, but definitely paying attention to that. That's really the highest we can see AMD going from a reasonable standpoint. But obviously there is a lot of AI hype right now. If NVIDIA continues to skyrocket, AMD will most likely follow its lead. And again, you always need to be prepared. There's no saying the market will stop at this level. No one can ever say that it's going to stop exactly here. We can't predict the future. We can just prepare. And this 135 is kind of that preparation. If it goes to that kind of high, I'll be paying it short bias, but always going to be having that defined risk. Now, if we continue up past there, really, we don't have any more levels. I wouldn't be looking to trade it. If I was long, I'm taking profits. If I'm short, I'm not adding past that level. Again, we've got the defined risk. If it continues to fly, we've got a defined risk. And then if it starts to come down, obviously locking in profits along the way. Now, we did talk about that 111, 109 support. That's our main focus now if we can't hit this upper resistance. But if we do start to break that, I would then be paying attention to $97.25. This is our first deviation on the 1 year. So again, definitely paying attention to that. And if I was holding AMD short bias, that would most likely be my final target. I wouldn't be looking to hold past there. That's just coming really greedy, trying to hold past there. Then if we go below that, between $9.06 and $83, this is considered fair value on the stock. This is statistical mean, so really holding past this level or trading in this level is not something I do. I tend to use that as a level to trade to, but not off of, because again, if we're trading, we don't want to be buying at fair value. An investment, that's another standpoint you may want to be looking at buying it in there. So really, AMD buy targets for me don't actually really start hitting until about $70, which, from current price of around 118, that does require about 40% sell off where I could see myself actually buying this as a high probability bounce location. So again, not really paying attention to these support levels for now. My main focus is going to be on the 124 and the 111. Start seeing what level it can hit first. That's where the opportunity is. Again, we can't predict if it will go up or down. So what we do is we stay patient until it comes into one of these levels, and then we get a high probability setup. So I hope you enjoyed the breakdown on AMD. If you did, why not drop a like and subscribe and check out this analysis video.